Hello everyone. Welcome to the sixth Sharjah Masters. Welcome to the one of the strongest tournaments which we are having right now. Welcome to the one of the strongest tournaments which I think because welcome to the one of the strongest tournaments which I think very welcome to the one of the strongest tournaments which I think very welcome to the one of the strongest. Hello. Guys, 1 second. Today we are trying for the video from the venue. So that means we will be able to see Pragg versus Nihal. Let me just check the Zoom video. Just a moment, guys. We have Pragg and Nihal there. I need to get them on the screen right now. Why is my camera not working? Okay, I'm just setting up a few things because we are trying to get a video and my video is right now off. So just be patient, guys, for a while. I'll just open the live chat to check if everything is okay. Though I know everything is not okay. Sometimes it's hard to figure out things on your own, but I'm trying. Ah, there we have the video. Yes, we have the video. Now let me just get it on the screen. I don't know why this video is. It's okay, no problem. Take your time. We can see the moves. Arey, thank you, Praveen. But maybe what I will do is just a moment. Whatever the settings are, please hold on to, guys, and just watch the game which is going on. Finally, for the first time, we have on screen live from the venue, guys. Isn't that amazing? Thanks to Aditya and Nikhilesh who are there at Sharjah covering this event. Okay, so first step is done. I have the people there. Guys, just check it out. You can see this live game which is going on the board. So, now the only challenge is like I'm not able to set up my camera here. But in worst case, that should be okay. All right, finally, I am calling for my help, Mr. Sagar Shah. Hopefully, he will pick up my call. I think my hope was completely wrong. Oh no, my hope has been answered. Hello. Hi Sagar. So one good news is we have got Praggnanandhaa versus Nihal's camera working and the game is on. Yeah, that's a great news. The second question is the video camera is not working, Logitech. So what should I do? One or three? सबसे जो नॉर्मली रहता है वही है वीडियो कैप्चर डिवाइस. Okay, wait, let me try to see. हाँ, यस. नो, ऐसा 1 2 3 ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. वीडियो कैप्चर डिवाइस है बट नाम 1 2 3 नहीं है. हम्म. हाँ, वो मैंने किया. वो करके हो गया है, वापस एक्टिवेट किया, नहीं हुआ. सो ये एक वाले को किया, अभी सेकंड वाले को करती हूँ. हाँ, हो गया. इसको किया तो अभी वो जूम का आ रहा है कॉल उसमें. दूसरा वाला है क्या उसमें? सेल्फ व्यू. Zoom, OBS virtual. I've kept OBS virtual. ठीक है, और एक वीडियो कैप्चर है इधर. वेट, 2 डिवाइस 2. नहीं इसमें भी नहीं है. यप. हाँ. क्रिएट न्यू क्या? वीडियो डिस्प्ले कैप्चर तो नहीं. वीडियो कैप्चर, VLC वीडियो कैप्चर डिवाइस दिखा. ठीक है, आई क्रिएट. हाँ, न्यू ही करूँ ना. ओके. नहीं, आई थिंक द वेबकैम इज नॉट वर्किंग. Maybe I'll mute my thing on. One second, I'm muting on the commentary because I don't think they need to hear all of this. One. I think I should try that. Yeah. Oh, finally. I mean, it's working here. Yeah, new one. वो पुराना Zoom कॉल का मैं जाने देती हूँ वो विंडो. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Bye. Hello, hello, hello. I think everything looks fine now. Time to begin. Okay, guys, one last time, just confirm to me if you are able to hear me well. There's no echo and all because for the like today we have a Zoom call. So I just want to make sure, and I'll just set this final thing up here. So yeah. Sounds okay. Stick sound. Okay, now should be good. All right then, finally guys, welcome to the 6th Sharjah Masters. Here we have the strongest tournament which is going on, and today we have the most exciting game, Praggnanandhaa versus Nihal Sarin. A game which everyone will be extremely glued to their chair. It's like IPL today. So popcorn khana और बहुत सारा मजा करना. So are you ready to follow the games with me? And the best part today is that we have the video. मजा ही आने वाला है. So you can see both the players there. Maybe what I can, yeah, over there. Shall we start from the beginning? D4, knight f6. Praggnanandhaa is white here. C4, e6, knight f3, and d5 has been played. g3, bishop e7. This would go something like queen Ragozin, but I think that's not happened. Bishop e7 he played. Bishop g2. It's the Catalan structure here we see with the bishop on g2, the fianchetto bishop as we call it. Castle has been played. Castle, d takes c4. Now this pawn has been taken over here. So black is a pawn up. But of course, the center control is going to be white, and eventually white will also recover the pawn. a6, a4 has been played, stopping b5. There is a pin there. Bishop d7. Wow, that's interesting. Are you really threatening b5, ab5, and bishop takes b5, defending the c4 pawn? So white takes the c4 pawn. He recovers the pawn now. Bishop goes to c6. Very interesting maneuver. Bishop d7, bishop c6, and then you can develop the knight to d7. All the time black faces the problem with the c8 bishop, and now it's nicely placed here, challenging the fianchetto bishop. I really like this maneuver, and we should check out how many games have been played because it looks interesting. Bishop f4. As you can see, there is only there is one open file for white and one semi-open file for black. Which are the files, guys? Can you tell me? For all those who have just started chess, it's a question for them. And one more time, I'll tell you official welcome here. Array Travel with Nikhil Roshan. Thank you so much. Guys, as he says, do like the stream because it's the most exciting game we are having today on board number 1. I would also like to show you quick results, quick pairings later after some time. C and D file. Exactly. C file for white because there is black pawn there. So this pawn here on the open file, this bishop putting pressure, this queen eyeing here. Currently the c6 bishop, we can say it's pinned. For black, it's the D file which is semi-open. He doesn't have any pawn there. Alright, so bishop f4 and black Nihal over here played a5. Very interesting because he had made a move with a6 and now he's moving the same pawn to a5. But as you see, what is the important thing this move does with a5? What is Nihal's idea with a5? Guys, what is Nihal's idea? Jaldi batao. Isn't c7 becoming a backward pawn? No, not yet backward pawn because there is a pawn adjacently. If this pawn was here, then yes, you can call it a backward pawn. Is bishop f4 a common move in this structure? This structure in itself is not a very common structure right now. We should check out the opening. But bishop on f4 here looks wonderful. I mean, why not? A nice diagonal there. Absolutely putting pressure on the c7 point. So yes, definitely looks great. Yeah, exactly. As everyone is trying to point, the b4 square. b4 square because now a4 has been played, a4 has been committed. अभी वो कभी पीछे नहीं हट सकता है. And there is no c pawn, which means this square is important because your piece can land upon such a square which is protected by a pawn. And it's in enemy territory there. So it will be really great to have the knight, let's say, so knight a6, knight b4 looks like absolutely a simple, clear plan there to develop and to get there. Maybe bishop b4 also could be possible if required, but if nothing, knight a6, knight b4 looks really good. So a5, a very classy idea by Nihal. He plays. Pragg develops his knight to c3 because he says, yes, let's not forget, even I have the b5 square over here because you don't have c6 immediately anyway. So that is an important point. He goes knight c3, a simple developing move there, and Nihal goes knight a6. And what does Praggnanandhaa do here? Rook a c1. A very calm move. You know this one is an open file. And rooks belong to the open file, which means isn't it obvious to bring your rook to c1? Yes, it is. And increase more pressure on the c7 as well. So this is currently the position. The bar says very slight initiative for white. Praggnanandhaa has 1 hour 30 minutes. Nihal has 1 hour 20 minutes, which means maybe Praggnanandhaa is better prepared than Nihal in this case. That is the thing, we must check it out. Whether Pragg, has he played this before? Nihal, has he played this before? Did Nihal expect this opening from Pragg? This is an important question. Prakhar says Nihal seems to be out of preparation, I guess. Time could be an important factor in this game. Given how precise and impulsive Nihal is, this could get messy and exciting. Looking forward to it. Okay, so let's go to our reference here and try to check the opening very quickly. Okay, he played d4, knight f6, c4, e6 here. The zoom. Okay, maybe I'll just put it on the side for now. Knight f3. Knight f3, d5 has been played. g3. Bishop e7. You can see 22,000 games with bishop e7. Bishop g2. Castle. Castle. D takes c4. Yes, has been played. A queen. No, first a4 maybe he played. Let me just check very quickly. What did he play? No, first queen c2 he played. And for a6 with the idea of b5, he then went for a4. And over here, what we saw is bishop d7. Oh, it's the main line. 5,000 games have been played here. Carlsen, Aronian, So, Anand, all the best players have played bishop d7. Just look at this. How many games? Yes, look at this. Ding versus Carlsen. So many games you can see here. And Vichy also. Anand versus Nakamura, Anand versus Avitek. Kramnik has played this quite a lot. Anish Giri, as we know. किधर भी देखो अनिश गिरी दिखेगा ही. So when you are checking the opening, that vast is Anish's reporter. So Anish Giri, Ali Reza, and what we are very keen to know, has Nihal played this before? So let's go with alphabetical order here and let's go to N. इसके लिए ABCD आना पड़ेगा. So that's why education will be important. ऊपर गया ना N. Okay, here N.I. Nielsen. Look at this. How many games Nihal has played? In fact, June 22 was his latest game with Ter Sehkayan. And he has played with Sheparinov, Donchenko, Martirosyan. Arjun versus Nihal has happened. In fact, they have played twice and both the times Nihal has beaten Arjun. And guess which tournament is this? ChessBase Juniors. We had this Super Juniors Cup, right? In that tournament, Nihal had played this. Do you remember? Were any of you watching that event live by chance? It was one of the most exciting events we had. Hammer versus Nihal. Hammer is who used to be Carlsen's second, and yes, okay. So Nihal has played this. What does it mean? Praggnanandhaa is prepared, right? Praggnanandhaa is fully prepared against this. 1 second here. Yeah. So in the game, he played queen takes c4, bishop c6, and now he went for bishop f4. You can already see 1200 games being played. And has Praggnanandhaa played this position before is another question which we must check it out. Guys, this is ChessBase 17 where I am trying to look at the preparation and who has played this, and I'm using mega database to understand. So this is important if you're a serious player and want to prepare for tournaments. Yes, PR Pranav, I can see, and no, I don't see Praggnanandha's game here. So bishop f4. So maybe Nihal is thinking, because bishop g5 is also another move, and Nihal goes here a5, which has been played in 370 whatever games. And one more time we will check if Nihal has played a5 before. No, you can see Nilotpal, Nemeth, you don't see Nihal. So I think now they definitely know the opening lines and all, but still they will be, there were a lot of options, so they will still have to figure certain things out. Knight a6, rook ac1, this is where we are. So we will follow the theory as well, and we will keep a watch. Shall we quickly check the live game if they have made a few more moves? Poonam says, I have played so many times Catalan and FIDE tournaments. This situation has been reached by me as white. Bishop d7 is seen rarely from me. My score is 1.5. Bishop d7 is not, but I think now maybe more people will play. It looks really logical and looks great. So, search by name का option नहीं है क्या? है ना? That is also there. I just find this in this line. There are a number of ways you can find details. Okay, so in this game where we are just checking out what happened later, rook ac1, and Nihal is still thinking. Now if you look at his time, he has gone down to 1 hour 13 minutes, which he will take some time at least. But because as we know, he has played this quite a lot, his understanding about this opening is definitely very good, and he'll majorly figure out, try to recollect, also try to find some new plans and new ideas, try to take Pragg out of his opening preparation, that kind of a thing. So theek hai, that's going on, and you can see both of them. Shall we check other games as well? After rook a c1, to end this line, by the way, over here, what Nihal must be thinking right now is knight b4 is one option, 69 games. Bishop f3 actually exchanging, but you can see 82% score for white. It has not given a good result to black actually after bishop f3. So that could be an option, and yeah, rook c8 is there just trying to defend. But main question I definitely think is knight b4 looks like logical move. You are advancing to a good square here. You may in future want to go knight d5. So why not knight d4? And maybe Pragg will go knight e5, attack the bishop, force this exchange, takes, king g2, and you can see 28 games with knight d5. c6 also has been played, and something like this kind of a structure where white gets center. I think this is very, very likely that we will reach. All right. Let's go back and let's check out other games. Today, we have, what about Gukesh? Whom is he playing? Shall we check the pairing in a moment, guys? Would you like to see the pairing? Yep. There we have Pragg and Nihal on top board with 2.5 points. Only 4 players are on 2.5 out of 3. Only 4. And then what you can see, Arvind Chidambaram on 2 playing with Yu Yangi, 2729 there. We have Aryan Chopra versus Arjun Erigaisi, another clash of Indians here happening. Then we have the next ones. S.L. Narayanan is playing with Dennis Kadrich. Don't know how it's pronounced exactly. Setu Raman is playing with Galperin. Where is Gukesh, by the way? Arjun versus Aryan we saw. Ronak versus Bartosoko. Vidit versus Kobalia. Aditya Mittal versus Harsha Bharatkoti. Another clash of Indians as we are seeing. Oops. What did I just do? Where is Gukesh? I'm not able to see Gukesh. Yeah, oh, come on. Fourth board. I missed his name. So he's playing with Mustafa. Oh, that Mustafa with whom Arjun had played when we were singing the song. Okay, there we have. So, थोड़ा तो बात करते हैं. गुकेश on board fourth. सबने बता ही दिया है. तो let's go there and check out his game. Guys, all of you who are in Mumbai today, Saturday, we have the Phoenix Market City में chess club. Do visit there. There is summer camp also going on and it's gonna be amazing on weekends. A lot more people, a lot more friends. So do not miss that. Whoa. What's happening here? D4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5. Everybody is playing the same, guys. सब यही खेल रहे हैं. Leeches says this is anti-Nimzo-Indian. Okay. Is this anti-Nimzo-Indian? Pawan says I am watching Sagar Shah live at chess club. अरे पवन क्या बात है. Amazing. How is the माहौल there? कुछ तो बताओ इधर भी. Knight c3, c6. e3, bishop e7. Is it, but now it's more like a Slav, yeah? It's more like semi-Slav, this one, when you have these pawns over here. Bishop d3, d takes c4. See, what he did was, here, you first wait for this move to happen, so that black is taking here and this bishop has to move again. You will say, oh, why did the bishop go to d3? Because white is also saying कि अरे ठीक है मार दो ना, मैं कहाँ डर रहा हूँ. No fear. So takes b5. First important thing in this exchange, what you have to again see, which we are looking again and again, is that white gets the central majority here. Okay. So takes, bishop takes c4, b5 खेला. Bishop can go to b3, d3, but on d3 it's of course lovely. b4. Knight is attacked. All of this is theory. Knight goes to a4. Knight b d7. Simple development there. And white goes e4 pretty early. Somehow the bar doesn't seem like happy, but looks like the most logical move there. You have also stopped knight d5 and Gukesh goes c5. Already challenging the center. He says ki now there is no pawn on e3 and I am going to exchange. You have to decide what to do. Very obvious that this pawn went to e4, want to go e5, attack the knight so that the bishop is able to exert more pressure on h7. And if people in the chat are aware, there is a possibility of a tactical theme in the future. If you have such a pawn placed here, if there is a bishop here, if you have the knight here, then all of these together, what tactical theme will they eye for? Can you tell me? Do you know the theme? Knight goes to d5 and knight takes c5 Mustafa has played. Can Gukesh sing today? Mustafa, अरे क्या बात है? Whiffed. Alok Raj, Safal and Ritesh. Well done. Greek gift is the name of that sacrifice. Greek gift, which is majorly, there is a pawn which has kicked the knight away, and there comes when there is castle, bishop h7 check, and when you take the bishop, this knight jumps in with a check, knight g5, and then the queen comes out to h5, and all of them together they create an attack. This sacrifice is known as Greek gift, and Daniel King has explained it amazingly in his power play DVD. So definitely have a look at that. So bishop d takes c5 and bishop takes c5. So the exchanges have happened and we have reached this position in Gukesh's game. Check out his time, 1 hour 33 minutes, and Mustafa is down to 1 hour 3 minutes. पूरे 30 minute कम, 30 minutes less. Clearly he is not much very deeply prepared in this opening. Otherwise, why will you use 30 minutes, right? I don't know what he must be thinking, but shall we check the opening, because this is semi-Slav and definitely we should try to figure out who, if anybody, was able to bring a novelty on the board. So Nihal and all those who are joining right now, today we have a good news. We have a camera there, Nihal versus Praggnanandhaa. So yeah, at least we have one board today, which is a progress. Thanks to Aditya and Niklesh who are there in Sharjah covering the event. So I think they played knight f3. Gukesh is black here. Knight f3 d5 was played. Here knight c3 was played instead of g3, unlike Praggnanandhaa and Nihal. c6, you can look at how many games were played by c6, 31,000. So bishop e7 was the move which Nihal went for against Praggnanandhaa right now, and c6 is what Gukesh has gone for. So c6, he played e3, Gukesh went bishop e7, bishop d3, 3000 games still. Gukesh took on c4, bishop takes c4, b5, bishop d3, and right now he did not play a6, he played b4. You can see 207 games in a6. So this is something which Mustafa may definitely know. But b4 is something more like a sideline. He will know that for sure. But maybe right now he doesn't recollect his full preparation. Both moves are possible. Knight e4 and knight a4. In fact, the computer also suggests that b4 is a little early, but Gukesh is prepared. Looking at his time, we know that. So here Gukesh went knight bd7. No top player has actually played this. No grandmaster has gone for b4. In fact, look at this. Wait a second. b4 maybe yes. Yeah. No top grandmaster has gone for b4 over here. And Gukesh has not thought. So he is happy. He is not really caring about the engines and all. Knight bd7, e4 was played, and he plays c5, e4 c5, e5, knight d5, d takes c5. एक game हुआ है by the way, 2569 versus 2260. He didn't play queen c7. He's taken on c5, knight c5. Okay, so here they deviate. Let's go to the main game. I guess you guys have got the hang of this opening as well right now. Takes, bishop takes c5 has happened. So Gukesh has a nice bishop here on a long diagonal. Bishops belong to long diagonals. Gukesh has a knight here on d5, which cannot be kicked away with any pawn because this is advanced and there is no pawn on c file. This pawn is quite advanced. It will have some restrictions there. The bishop is ready to go to b7. So on queen side, his pieces definitely look active. He has a lot of space on queen side. This guy has more space in the center. But the main thing which Gukesh will need to make sure that he's taking care is this whole idea here with any kind of attack while he is castling, or he may have to delay his castle, or he may have to be just alert whenever he is castling. Apart from that, this could become a weakness on e5, and Gukesh will have a pleasant position. So this is what right now Mustafa versus Gukesh is going on, and Mustafa has gone down below 1 hour. Can we now have a look at if any moves had happened? Rook c1, knight b4 and knight e5. Oh, exactly, this is what we had seen, that the games have happened in this line, and we are now expecting c6 from Nihal. It's Aryan says, Amrita, tomorrow I am going to play in a tournament. So I want to just study a little about openings. Where can I do it for tomorrow? And for also general, how would you prefer it? So Aryan, do you have ChessBase software, or you don't have it? And what you can do is, are a few possibilities. Basically, whichever opening you play, a good idea would be to check out the games of those openings, like what plans people have followed. Like yesterday itself we were discussing. So let's say you play Sicilian, for suppose, and then you check out which top players have played Sicilian, and then you maybe choose a player and then see all his Sicilian games, and you can understand what plans he was following. That's one way of doing it. But I would definitely recommend you to not go into deep theory कि ये मुँह के लिए ये है, ये मुँह के लिए ये है, that kind of a preparation, because you're not going to be remembering each and every move. I don't know what your level is, so I think that would really help a few more details to guide you better. Rohan says, black's light square bishop won't see light of the day. Exchange it preferably. Kahan pe? Are you talking in Praggnanandha's? No. Are you talking in Gukesh's game or this game? Because both light square bishops were okay. Fine. Aditi Goswami says, hi ma'am, sorry for late. Aditi, you will have to go out of the class and stand for half an hour. That is your punishment. अरे ये स्कूल नहीं है, so don't worry. Someone did mention I am asking questions like a school teacher though. Okay, Aryan, you don't have that. You can't afford it. It doesn't really matter. But what is your, like, do you have a rating? Have you played tournaments? Is it a classical event? Is it a rapid event? You can tell me. Amrita Di says no ratta in chess. Yeah, at least at this level, no ratta. मतलब रट्टा मार के भी क्या करोगे guys? देखो रट्टा मारोगे, फिर 15 मूव्स हो जाता है ओपनिंग का, फिर यू गेट स्लाइट एडवांटेज, उसके बाद ब्लंडर. मतलब इतना कॉन्फिडेंस है ना मुझे तुम लोगों में कि एक ब्लंडर मारोगे ही. सो दैट्स द रीजन नो रट्टा फॉर यू गाइज. थोड़ा हट के सोचना पड़ेगा. यू कैन प्रिपेयर इन द सेम वे विच प्रज्ञानंदा प्रिपेयर्स राइट नाउ. करेक्ट? राइट नाउ इज नॉट by hearting or trying to memorize. And anyway, these guys don't memorize as such. It's more every move they are able to remember common sense, say logically. I mean, I'm not saying you guys don't have common sense, so no offense there, but the deeper understanding will improve the common chess sense. So you need to first really work on understanding. If your level is something around 1200 to 1400 or 1100 to 1400 right now, 1500 also maybe, first try to understand the depth of the pieces. Like agar, for example, let's take animals. Yeah, if you say हाथी को तुम बोलोगे हाथी तुमको बहुत फास्ट भागना है, like a deer, you have to run as fast as a deer. Can an elephant run as fast as a deer? Of course not. So understand what the features are, understand how they can be used. That understanding is extremely important, so that you are confident of, you can find the plans and you can find the ideas on the board after the out of the opening. Tactical openings are very different, like there are traps and all of those, you should know some ideas. But strategic openings, majorly, for it all depends on whether you understand the pieces or not. Like for example, if you don't understand your husband or wife well, or if you don't understand your uh, siblings well, your friends well, whoever, take for a person, then what are you going to do? Jhagda karte rahoge, right? Oh, I had to. Apurva Kamble ask, can anybody tell what is the cost of mega database? I don't know if we have any mods in the chat, but I don't even know if Nightbot will do it. But we have a combo product, ChessBase plus Mega, and I will add the link soon. And maybe you should check it out. Okay, let's go to the next games. Yeah. Thank you, Aditi. Kindly add the link. Yes, I mean, if there are any mods, please do help. Otherwise, give me a bit and I will definitely do that. So this is the game, and Nihal is down to 57 minutes as well. Like in Gukesh versus Mustafa. Mustafa has made a move. He has played queen c2. It's in a way trying to attack. There is a double attack. Guys, what are the 2 points which are attacked by white? Can you write here? What are the 2 points? Aryan says I played one classical and many club level. Tomorrow is a club level but a big tournament. I'm around 1600 plus rapid on leeches. अच्छा rapid है क्या? Yes. Aryan, you better see whichever openings you play. You try to see from live database. There are so many games on leeches. There are on chess.com. There's on play chess. So you try to see on live database the games of the openings and just observe how the pieces are maneuvering, which pieces are being exchanged, what plans are being followed, and you have it all. You are consuming it all, and you will have to make the choice on the board tomorrow. But you will get a very good understanding of the opening. So that is plus the middle planning. How do I make leeches board arrows highlight look? No, you just have to click right click and then you make an arrow like this. Let's say right now. Yes, amazing. Aryan wifed Chiku, Aditi, Shubham, checkmate. Correct. This is correct. There are these 2 points right now which are being attacked. If I press Alt, this is the color. If I don't press Alt, this is the color. These are the 2 points right now which are being attacked, and that's a double attack. So Queen C2 has been played, and Gukesh will think, can he save both of them? Can he save both of them? May not be so. So what should he play? Is he losing a pawn? A question to you. Is he losing a pawn? Suppose Gukesh plays a move like Queen C7. And if Mustafa takes the pawn on H7, then what can black play? Black to play, guys. Is our chat chess moves working today? Whoa! Our chat chess moves is working, guys. Awesome. That's a good news. Thanks to Keith Mascarenas. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, let me just show you chat chess moves here. And we have G6 on top By the way, bishop f2 भी बोला है, ये पुराने मुझसे bishop b4 and all. But g6 and bishop f2. Jatin, Ritesh, Aryan, Harshit, Aditi. Absolutely correct. You guys are. The point is bishop f2 for many people who said, but it's a blunder. Because let's not forget, after king f2, this is not hanging. ये है ना, मैं हूँ ना. So that is the bishop doing there, supporting the queen. g6, it does feel scary because bishop g6, fg6, queen g6, and suddenly white has collected three healthy pawns in front of the king. So how come this is working out? The point is the queen goes to f7. So queen has protected everything. ये queen, it has to decide क्या करेगी. If it exchanges, okay, black is a piece up, and when pawns are a compensation for a piece, they need to be advanced, okay. And these pawns right now, to advance them, maybe एक आगे भी बढ़ेगा, but the king is closer to the weakness, and it's not easy to advance all the pawns and to create to create a passer so easily, because black's pieces are also very active, and this king is also in the center. There are also weaknesses in white's position, so it is not enough compensation. Even if the queen goes back, doesn't exchange, still the whole point is black's pieces are amazingly placed. And again, in fact, black could even castle and then go king g7, rook h8. This is also possible. He could even go king f8, king g7. So this is not enough compensation. So he has gone queen c2, and Gukesh is thinking, for sure Gukesh knew that this was a possibility, and he did not worry about that 7 pawn or that kind of a sacrifice. And we will see what he can play. He can even play queen b6, because now for bishop h7, is bishop f2 possible? Yes, but it doesn't really give you any advantage. In fact, you lose the advantage. But there are better ideas after queen b6 where you can play with compensation. In fact, one of the idea is, very surprisingly, just to stop white's castle here with a lot of threats, rook c8 and b3, and if this bishop goes back to challenge this, then now takes, you lose the pawn. So it's very interesting that black's king is becoming weaker. So all these ideas are there. In fact, we should not forget about a move like b3, where after ab3, this knight jumps into b4, and suddenly the queen has to decide where to stay, because it cannot stay anywhere here. If it goes to e4, there is bishop b7, and if it goes to b1, then there is bishop f2 anyway. So I like the move b3 very much, and Gukesh has gone queen b6. He has gone queen b6, so b3 is also something in the air. I think white would want to first castle and make himself safe from all these ideas. Okay. So that's there. Queen a5 also was suggested by checkmate with the idea of b3 and winning the thing. Possible, but he can then short castle. And you might say b3 because there is a pin there, but even queen b3 is just simply working. So Gukesh has played queen b6, and we will come to the game. Praggnanandhaa versus Nihal right now has happened a few moves. Bishop g2, king g2, and knight fd5. Oh, Nihal did not go for c6. He went knight fd5 over here, and Praggnanandhaa took the knight in how many seconds? How much time? Look at this, guys. He has 1 hour, 29 minutes, 51 seconds. And he makes this move in almost 40 seconds. So he gets 30 seconds increment, which means that he actually thought only 10 seconds, almost only 10 seconds. And he has taken the knight, and now Nihal is thinking he can take with the knight, with the queen, or with the pawn. No, with the pawn if he takes, it's just lost. In fact, c7 is hanging. So ed5, then there is queen c7. If queen d5, then can you play queen c7 here? Queen, no, sorry. If that's a check, so you don't have time. And now if queen d5, knight goes to d5, defending c7. So either queen d5 or knight d5. Nihal plays queen d5, says I do not want to exchange the queens and I am attacking your f4 bishop. You better decide whether you want to give this bishop or you want to save it. Guys, what will you do? Do you want to allow knight f4, gf4, or do you want to save this bishop? If you want to save it, then where will you go? Look at both of them there on the board. We have the live footage today. A big thanks to Aditya and Nikhilesh who are there, and of course the organizers who have been extremely supportive. What a tournament these guys have organized. Yeah, I mean, just a big thing to pull off. About 2600, such a classical strong event. Imagine 15 16 Indians are like all our top players are playing such a tournament. Who would want to miss it? And these kind of tournaments are really needed and they don't happen as often. So I mean, I don't even remember when was such a tournament which had happened last time, because generally they don't cut off at a rating. So this is brilliant what they are doing. Akash says Nihal 6, Pragg 4 and 6 draws in classical. That's a good statistic. So you're saying that 6 draws हुआ है. Nihal has won 6 times, Pragg has won 4 times and 6 times they have drawn. Wow. That's nice. Knight c6, bishop d2, bishop d2. I would like bishop e3 to open my rook and trying to push e5 and then attack. But Aryan, you want to go bishop e3 over here, allow knight e3, fe3, and this way you want to open. That is a very, very cool suggestion you have given. Very interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. Definitely there is a better idea though. But I like the way you try to think creatively. Bishop d2 is a nice move. Yes, although you said bishop d2, it's a good idea to go back to save the bishop and to keep an eye on this guy. Oh, it rhymes. To keep an eye on this guy. Okay, cool. So the whole point being that b6 is a nightmare. You cannot think of b6 so easily because this c6 square is such a delight for the knight on c6, knight on e5. So then your rook on a8 is tied down. So really like the move bishop d2, and that has happened in the game. Pragg has went for that. And what did Nihal play? He played bishop b4. He says, no, I cannot take this pressure on a5, so I want to exchange the bishop. The engine very much likes this move for white. The engine did have a few suggestions. One was c6, so that it defends the a5 with the queen as well. And then later you can try to go f5, f4. These could be some of the ideas. The other was to go bishop d6, and you are keeping an eye here so that you have an option to take the knight, force him to do a doubled pawn, and who knows, maybe then think of b6. So this was another possibility. But what Nihal played was bishop b4, wanting to exchange. And we will see what Pragg plays. Guys, by the way, shall we check out other games as well? Because we have to check out a lot of games, in fact. Gukesh's opponent, finally Mustafa, has castled as expected. Arvind versus Yu Yangi. Arvind is white, and oh, he's being amazingly fast in his development. Why does it feel कि कैसल करके ये रुक यहाँ से डायरेक्ट यहाँ आया? So that is brilliant what he would have done in the last few moves. Just look at this. He castled and then he got this rook here and then he went queen d1. So he wanted both the rooks on queen side. So that's a typical maneuver which he did. And then Arjun versus Aryan, of course. Oh my god, what an important game here we have. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, knight f6, d3 has been played. Bishop c5, c3. He's not gone for the 4 knights with knight c3. He went for c3 over here. d6, castle, castle, h3. Mostly these structures do convert something like typical to Rilopis though. Bishop went back to b6. Rook e1, knight e7. The knight starts his journey. Knight e7, knight g6, knight f4. Also bishop e6. This exchange there, putting pressure here. So a4, c6 is being played. Bishop b3, knight goes to g6, knight d2, bishop c7. Somehow now with the bishop on c7, black looks like being in a playing a Rilopis. d4. Okay, so what white said कि यार तेरा knight भी नहीं है, तेरा bishop भी नहीं है, तू कर क्या रहा है? You're giving me a central break. So Aryan says that I'm going for d4, and Arjun very calmly takes and goes d5. That's the reason his bishop was here eyeing this diagonal, but all of it seems like a theory. e5, knight goes to h5. Here there is a very beautiful square, and because h3 has been played, this knight over here is going to have a lot of pressure on these points with some sacrifices in the air, as well as knight d3, another weak square out there. Knight goes to f1, and the knight from h5 goes to f4. So currently white has weakened the power of this c7 bishop, but what we have is an important move for black in the future to make this bishop powerful. Can you guys suggest a move? I mean, it's not black to play, it's white to play, but what the question is that how can black make the bishop powerful in the future? I like that you guys have given two suggestions, f6 and c5. Clearly want to deflect this and win this and then open this bishop. And the other move is f6, which directly challenges the center. Yes, f6 definitely a very good idea. Of course, you must take care that there is no e6. So there is one and two guys here. Against this only one guy, so it's defended well. But if first f6 is more important than c5, because you must take care if your d5 becomes weak or not. Okay, so well done. And this bishop is going to unravel its powers. So knight hf4 has been played by Arjun, and Aryan is taking his time. I think Arjun is practically, maybe this is his preparation, so maybe he is very comfortable in this kind of a position. Shall we go to the next game? So SL Narayanan is playing with Dennis Kadrich, and SL is white. Oh my god, he's already got a very good advantage. He played his last move bishop g5. He has pinned this, which means right now he is threatening to win a pawn here. Oops, d5 pawn. It seems like he is one and two guys are attacking and there is only one guy defending, because this is a pseudo defense in the spin. So bishop g5 has been played, and if black takes here, then you have fe4, which allows opening of the rook and add more pressure over here. Also knight is coming to b5. Black must take care that a3, knight d5 might jump in. These are all weak squares here. Okay, this is absolutely bad position for Dennis. So Narayanan has got a great position out of the opening. Going to the next games. Sethuraman versus Platon. Oh, look at this king on b6. Checkmate says I once lost on time because of my phone when it was mate in 1. Are. You forgot, huh? Interesting. Joshua says Zhu engine pressing. Oh my god, that's amazing. She has been. Tag me Rishi. You can write only once. We've discussed this. Itana 6 बार मत लिखो. We will be looking at the game. And tag me Rishi. You have come late because we have looked at Gukesh's game. Okay, so over here bishop c6 and Sethuraman is having this slight edge because of his development which is complete, and if this king could land up in slight weakness, also I think here there are some ideas to weaken. So that's about it. By the way, another Clash of Indians, Harsha versus Aditya Mittal, and they have had an interesting opening. b3, all of you might remember AD here, AD the beast, d5, bishop g4, f3. Look at this, completely against the opening principles. f3, h4, 3 pawn moves out of the 4, but of course this is all preparation by Harsha. Very interesting lines they have chosen. d4, e6, e3, c5, knight e2, knight c6, knight c3. So what they have gone is completely original chess here, and he's long castled with everything very safe here, safe shelter, and now ready for the attack. g4, and Aditya is thinking. Whoa, this is super interesting because even black is going to play g5, yeah, in the future. So this is crazy interesting opening. I think a good idea to play in the rapids maybe as well. Like if you're not very well prepared, maybe you can look at this game, how he maneuvers, what are the structures he's taking, and you can play this. What about Vidit versus Michael Kobalia? So Vidit went for d4, d5, c4, c6, a Slav. It is again a semi-Slav here, like we have seen in some other games. Bishop went to f4. All of this looks like a line. Knight d2, bishop a6, knight c4, rook c8, rook d1, and look at this move, knight d5 here. If ed5, then there is cd5, and this knight on c4 is pinned. So what a nice move. Knight d5 by Kobalia. Bishop goes to d2. Knight goes to b4. Again and again we are looking at this place, this square for the knight, which looks great. Bishop went to f4. Oh my god, they have repeated twice. But Vidit is white. Will he repeat this? Guys, Sagar is right now at Phoenix Market City. So today is Saturday. There is chess club over there. There is a summer chess camp going on, and it's all very exciting. Do join in if you are in Mumbai, around Mumbai. It is till 25th. And yeah, it's a lot of fun over there. I think he's putting up a material. There are articles, there are videos. So you can watch it out. And Sagar is over there. So we are hoping that he will join us towards the second half. Let's see. Knight d5. So Vidit is thinking, if he goes bishop, he has a choice to repeat and go for a draw. But that with white, I'm not sure if he will go for something like that. What about Ronak Sadhwani? Ronak is black, and Ronak is already having a great position there. Guys, can you tell me some imbalances in this position? Very, very obvious ones. The first look at the position and you get like number 1, number 2, number 3. Sandeep Yati says I am Aditi Goswami, but then why are you Sandeep Yati? Aditi. Bishop pair, very good, Rajanand. That's one. What else? Aryan, what do you mean by B pawn? White is developed. Yes, Ritesh Agarwal. His rooks are connected. He's developed. Black's development is yet to be completed. Well done. Yes, bishop pair is already said. What else? Come on, guys, quick. Jaldi. White has no B pawn and black has no H pawn. And A pawn, you mean A pawn. Okay, but yes, but what about that? You're very close to figuring out one big imbalance. You're very close. C8 bishop is bad. Yes, Chiku. Well done. Open file. Open file हो गया. B file is open for white. A file is open for black. Both of them are having one open file. One major difference you missing, guys. One major development was major one. This was major, what to say, double bishop. There is one more major. I could even say two major, but yes, what about, look at that, Akshat. Well done. Pawn Islands. Guys, ye akela hai. You can see there is no B pawn here. It's alone. That's an isolated pawn. And which means how many pawn islands? Ye ho gaya ek. There is a break. And this is the second. Ye ho gaya ek. There is a break. It rhymes. So white has two pawn islands. And black has everything connected. So black has only one pawn island. So this is an isolated pawn here. That's why black, and it's on the open file. Black is putting pressure there. This is also on open file. It is definitely a backward pawn. You see there is no pawn. उसके साथ साथ there are no colleagues here. आगे निकल चुका है ये. So this is definitely a backward pawn, which makes it a weakness, but it is not isolated pawn. Okay. So that is one major difference. And another thing which all of you guys have forgotten to point out is center control. When you look at this center squares, white has two pawns there. White has a better center control. So in general, all of these things are there. But what makes black, why is the computer saying that black will get initiative? What is the move he is suggesting? He suggests to go knight takes c4, capture this pawn and go for this kind of a simplification. Takes, queen takes, and again go for queen exchange, challenge the queen. Because just for example, if I must show you after takes, this position is clearly better for black, because soon he is going to come rook d8. This guy over here, it's not easy to go d5. This knight cannot move ever because d4 will be completely under pressure, and slowly black will be able to convert his double bishop advantage slowly and steadily. And then this isolated pawn is definitely going to cause a lot of trouble to white. So this is a great idea, but it's not so easy to make this decision to simplify. And if black does not simplify, then it's like some tempting move like knight a4, maybe wanting to go knight c3. It's not going to help because there is takes, cd5, and this bishop can even go to f1 and reroute itself. So yeah, and reroute itself. So this can be very interesting. We will see what Ronak plays here. Okay, let's go to the other games now. Once again, Gukesh's game. Okay, we will go. They would not have played a lot of moves. Queen b6 was played last. White castled. Exactly. He made first his king safe. Gukesh developed his bishop. He goes to b7 there. And Mustafa goes queen c4. Okay, quite a weird move in that sense, because he's moving the queen. Uh, he's not planning to put any more pressure on h7. He's not planning to develop the bishop. So queen c4. Guys, what do you think is the idea of this move? Can anyone try to explain? Oh my god, and unbelievable what Gukesh played next. Oh my goodness. If you guys please be honest, do not see Gukesh's next move, and can you guess what he played? I mean, it's crazy. Baapre. Oh, Sachin, hello, Sachin, in the chat. Good to see you. Acha, Varun said you had said center. Okay, then I would have missed it, Varun. Opening up the position so bishop pair is active. Yes, it's not immediately active, but I think precisely that knight, it is having these kind of elements where the knight on f3 cannot move because d4 is under pressure. So that knight being tied down for the defense of the pawn was an important factor over there. Hi, is this really live? Asks Magic Drawings. Magic Drawings. Magic तुम भी कर सकते हो और हम भी कर सकते हैं. Yes, this is live today. That's one of the great, what to say, improvements we have in our stream. This is happening real time. Pragg versus Nihal on board number 1, and Aditya, Niklesh are there in Sharjah. Thanks to the organizers, we've got this permission and we are seeing it live. इससे ज़्यादा क्या ही मांग सकते हैं. Okay, people are, oh, knight 93, what a suggestion. Okay, but I will just take, king h1 will not work. So the move is what Gukesh played will shock everybody, because it's like a completely, इधर देखो पूरा open है. It's almost feels like everything is open, and he long castles. He just long castles. And actually the bar should have just gone down यहाँ पे कहीं पे कि अरे क्या कर रहा है, your king is so exposed, how can you even think of long castle. बट बार भी डर रहा है यार. बार इज लाइक ठीक है, थोड़ा सा खराब है, इतना ज़्यादा खराब नहीं है. यहाँ से यहाँ तक आ गया. सो डेफिनेटली इट इज़ नॉट द बेस्ट मूव. नो वे इट कैन बी अ ग्रेट आइडिया टू पुट द किंग देयर. It's calling a lot of craziness in the game, which for us, by the way, is amazing because we love craziness here. अपन तो बस देख ही रहे, अपने पास इंजन भी है, so we have nothing to worry, no stress. But this move, I mean, it requires a brave heart to make such a move. Yeah, at the end of it, whether a good move, bad move, you get advantage, you don't get advantage, but for sure one thing is clear. You are like that gladiator, that wala feel, वो एक movie का hero, you feel like a hero. Yeah, I mean, Gukesh is not thinking he is like a hero, but we are, if this is a movie right now, it's like Gukesh is the gladiator. So amazing, what to say, boldness here by Gukesh to long castle, and we have to see how Mustafa is going to answer. The main problem, I mean, the main reason I believe why Gukesh went for long castle is one more thing is that you were not feeling safe for h7 because you don't have any pieces. Just look at this side, yeah, for a moment. Just look at this side, and black has no piece if he castles. I mean, except for this rook, which is not going to defend this attack on h7 though, because if you castle, that's what we are considering. There is no other piece. Just the side looks very weak. It's like a bungalow full of gold and diamonds and rubies and everything, and there is no watchman, there is no CCTV, कुछ नहीं है, चोर आ रहा है, चोरी करके जा रहा है. It feels like that. It feels scary. So that is definitely one of the thing. But what I felt as Queen C4 move, Queen C4, one of the idea could be to go Queen B5 check, and White may want to exchange, which is not very exciting, yeah, with this king here if he castles. Mainly it could be Queen G4 or Queen H4. So let's try if Gukesh would have castled. Which is the first move which you should calculate. Guys, first move which you should calculate. How was A5 followed by Bishop A6 for Gukesh? Great suggestion. We will check that out for sure. Sachin, Ritesh, Sikam, Aniket, Poonam, Rahul, Maharshi, checkmate. Okay, so first move which you should of course calculate is the Greek gift. Bishop H7 check. इसके ही तो बारे में बात कर रहे थे ना इतनी बार. And now King H7, Knight G5 check. And here normally you have two choices, King G8 and King G6. If you are defending this game, you are black. Opponent ने खेला है Knight G5 check. तुम्हारे पास है, समझो ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं है. कितना टाइम है? 30 seconds है अभी. Intuitively क्या खेलोगे? King G6, King G8. What will you play? How are you calculating? How will you make a decision? King G6 or King G8? Some variations, मतलब some positions. At that point, King G8 would be the right. One of the move is many times right and one of them is wrong. यहाँ पे भी similar है. But it's different in different scenarios. There is no such rule कि King G8 is always the right one. King G6 is always the right one. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. What does your intuition say here? Guys, ये क्या question है? What does your intuition? Such positions are not about intuition. There is only precise calculation. King G8, King G6, King G6, King G6, King G6, King G8, King G6, King G8, King G6, King... I think King G6 is more being felt, but maybe 60-40, yeah? King G8, सबसे पहले we will always try to see if King G8, and if that works, यहाँ पे Queen H4 with the idea of checkmate in one move, normally what you will look at is moving the rook. Now, this queen, if it was on H5, it would have been another story there. But यहाँ पे if you give a check, the king goes to F8. If you give a check. Now look at this. Important, very important to observe is this bishop is on C5 and not on E7. Of course, E7 पे रहता तो ये मर ही जाता था. But this E7 square is there to escape. And even if you take this, F6 is controlled. You can save this with Rook F8, I guess. Rook F8 is possible. Though White has initiative, Knight H7 and all. King H7, Queen F. तो ये सब आ सकता है. Okay, and Black can escape. But look stressful. Just look stressful. Even when it is not working. After King G8. If you would have gone King G6 here, King H7 check, King G6, then the problem is White to play, he has two possibilities. What is the strongest one? If you know the ideas with the knight here, bishop, pawn, do you know the idea what should White play? Queen E4, yeah, I mean, if you want to give a check on this diagonal, you have these two checks. And majorly Queen E4, yes, possible, but do have to be careful about this. So Queen C2 check here is important. Because if you go King H6, very quickly, you can observe there is a mate. So you cannot go King H. Only move remains, which is F5. And then after EF6, there is with en passant, there is this check which forces the F6 pawn to be captured by the king. And here there is a very nice final blow, knight E4 check. And suddenly it's nothing to do with the king per se, but you're just winning a piece. I mean, you're just winning back the piece, and then you have the exposed king and a pawn up, and in this scenario, that is how it's working. So this just seemed a little bit of, not very comfortable. So what Gukesh did was he long castled. Sachin had asked a5. Was it an option with the idea of bishop a6? Definitely a5 was a great idea to delay the long castle as well, to wait and to ask white what is your next move for bishop a6, because once this bishop is exchanged, it will weaken the pressure on h7 point. But what Gukesh did was long castle so that he can also start planning, and knight goes to g5. Mustafa plays knight g5. Very nice idea. Currently there is a double attack over here, but majorly on f7, because after h7 he captures, h2 will also become weak. So Gukesh will have to be extremely careful. And we have seen Mustafa playing with Arjun. He played really well. So he's definitely not somebody you can underestimate. So let's keep an eye on Gukesh's game as well. Let's go to Nihal Sarin's game. Yes, Aniket, queen c5 first is also the same. You can play queen c5 first. There. If we go to Nihal's game, where did we leave? Yeah, he went bishop d2. Pragg saved his bishop, but Pragg is making his moves very fast. He had 1 hour 29 minutes. He took only 2 minutes. फिर गया पीछे bishop d2. And अच्छा, this we had seen. My bad. Bishop b4 was the last move which Nihal had played and challenged the bishop. What Pragg played was completely just, improve his piece position. He got his rook to d1. He took quite a long time. He had 1 hour 27 minutes, and finally he uses some time, almost 20 minutes, and goes rook fd1. Nihal plays c6 now and has a great knight here, which at some point is going to get a kick with e4. So yeah, this is the position. By the way, white has the ideas of e4, and what is another idea white can have in the future? I'm talking about the future, which can create more pressure on black's king side. Just as an idea, in case, guys, it's just a very generic idea, but you can definitely tell me. Checkmate.is, by the my phone is dying now, just 10%. But why are you not charging it? Aditi asks, what is your rating? Currently my rating, I have not played for many years. The last I played in 2017. And at that point of time, my rating went down to 2078. Vidit's position looks so complex. Okay, so he's not agreed for a draw. अरे ऐसे सबके से सबको किसे आ रहा है यार ये? Amazing. This one I did not expect, because इधर कुछ engine नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है. It's all about knowledge, you can say. It's just about, wow, I'm so proud of you guys, especially the 4 of you who have been extremely quick. Nishan, Sikam, Poonam and Aditi. Yes, well done. H4 is the thing which you can keep in mind and create some static, which is like a long-term weaknesses in black's position, gaining space, keeping. This is just a generic thing when white has got everything in the best, everything is well located, he's improved his position, and he's still slowly adding pressure from the whole chess spectrum that way. So well done. Can we now look at, by the way, very quickly, if Gukesh has made a move? No, not yet. I think he might need to consume some time here. This is now getting tactical. One good thing is he has a lot of time. Mustafa has 41 minutes. Now, what about Arvind Chidambaram? Let's check out other games very quickly. Uh, Rook Queen B3, Rook B8 has been played. Arvind has slight advantage. He has a very nice knight on an dash. Guys, filling the blanks. He has a nice knight on a dash. What is the word? Yes, Mukul, Aryan, Maharshi, Aditi, Rajanand, absolutely well done. An outpost. This is an outpost. You can see a square. It's protected by the pawn there. It's in enemy territory here. So definitely also on the open file. It's a nice outpost and knights are good on outposts. Why do you think Safal and Poonam it is not an outpost? Can you explain? This is an outpost. So yes, that is a nicely placed knight over here, which white is having. So there is a very, very slight advantage, not at all anything like winning or something. And Yu Yangi is a very good defender. Let's go to Arjun's game. That was interesting. Bishop F. He played knight F4. This is where we left last. Bishop takes F4. Aryan took the knight very quickly, actually. I mean, in the sense like immediately he takes the knight. So quite interesting that he is not enjoying this knight being here. Knight takes f4 and now he plays queen d2, attacks this knight again. The queen cannot defend because all these three squares from where it could defend are being controlled. So the knight has to go back. It goes to e6 and then white plays bishop c2. He also brings his bishop on a very nice diagonal, very symmetrically placed, and some ideas down there. Arjun plays f6. As we had predicted, this move is going to happen to open this diagonal, but Aryan makes an amazing move here. A very nice idea in itself. White to play. Guys, can you guess what Aryan played? Can you guess what Aryan played? Yes, he played rook a3. Quite a nice move. It does a few things. One is obviously it is a rook lift and it has a choice to come to e3, b3 in the future. But it defends the f3 knight as well whenever there is going to be extra attack over there. It improves the rook placement. So it's a very nice rook lift over here basically, especially when you know that the e file can open up, doubling the rooks in this way. It's nice. Okay, so he plays rook a3 and Arjun is thinking. He'll have to decide whether he wants to take here or wait, maybe go a move like a5. So it's something where Arjun needs to be alert and careful. Okay, what about Vidit? What's happening in his game? By the way, in SL Narayanan's game, he was clearly better. We saw here bishop g5 and d5, d4, fe4 has happened and Dennis played queen e5 right now. But it doesn't attack this because the queen defends it, and as discussed, this knight can easily jump to b5, improving the game position. Also, if you see Setu Raman's, yeah, it's still a slight edge. I would go to Harsha Bharat Koti versus Aditya, that crazy opening which we had seen. Now look at these pawns. Yeah, white has tremendous space on the king side. but black will definitely strike at some point with e5. As of now, he cannot. Maybe first he has to of course decide what to do with the king, because it cannot stay in the center. But this is going to be an interesting game. And Vidit versus Kobalia, Vidit did not repeat thrice. He changed and he went rook a c1 over here. Kobalia goes for c5, striking in the center, asking for simplifications. Guys, all those who are joining right now, do like the stream, definitely, like Nikhil says. And we have today a live video, Praggnanandhaa and Nihal. So do like the stream if you like this match which is going on. So c5 has been played here, and Vidit goes d5. He keeps the center closed, ed5, and Michael Kobalia went bishop f6, little move, but attacks the queen. Bishop goes to e3. Now Vidit has a very nice passed pawn. It's a passed pawn. It's isolated, but it's a passed pawn. All 4 minor pieces are existing on the board. All rooks are there. Queen is there. No piece has been exchanged. So this is a very interesting middle game there, because there are ideas like b3, d6. If right now there is a pin here, but this square on d6 looks really weak. The b6 pawn here, you can see it's a backward pawn. Again, it's weak. But mostly when Vidit will try to remove the queen out of the pin, this bishop at that point of time will definitely take the knight and say ki, no, I cannot really allow you to exist anymore. But I think Vidit has got a very pleasant position, and it's a slow process, but practically it looks good for white because of this pawn. And we will see if it becomes a weakness or if it is the strength. That is always a question when it is a passed pawn. Okay. Let's go to... Oh, Adiban. Today Adiban is playing. Guys, yesterday Adiban got a bye, if you all remember. And his opponent has played Sicilian. Wow. And Adiban goes for open Sicilian. Nothing like Rosolimo. So the beast is back. Knight off has happened. H3 line, which is extremely popular at the top level there. You can see bishop has developed to e3, and there is no worry about knight g4 anymore. In Sicilian, your dark square bishop is important. Of course, there are variations where you give it up for the knight to gain more control of d5, or you get development advantage. H6, queen d3 he played, making space for long castle. But no, he's not yet. Actually, no, he's not yet castled. He goes bishop e2 right now. b5 and short castle. Knight d7. He didn't have to worry about b4 because this has been protected. Knight goes to d7, and AD over here strikes with a4. Provokes b4. And then goes knight d5. He could have done this. He could have gone knight d5 earlier also. But he first provoked the pawn on b4 so that also can be attacked, and that's the reason, like right now, black is forced to take here. Knight takes d5. If he would have gone with the queen back or something like that, then okay, there is knight e7, king e7, and this king looks very, very bad. So he took here, e takes d5, castle, a5, and rook b8. This is the current position which is there on the board. So white is going to, white mostly will bring one of his rook to c1, and definitely also think of playing c4. The idea after c4, if he gets successful, is if bc, being alert for all the tactics of course, but if he gets c4, then c5 would be a strong idea. That is one. The other ideas which may not be so easy to go for f4, because it will give this knight a square and some activity there. So I think in general c3, c4 would be a main idea to go for Adiban. We will see. Also, this knight can maneuver itself, knight c4, and these are the 2 points to keep an eye for. And I think Adiban's position is pretty pleasant. Let's go to Leon's position. Leon today must take care of his time, and yes, he has more time than his opponent, which is a great news. He last played e takes d5 and has attacked this bishop, but of course knight d5. What happens to knight d5? Guys, knight d5 is not a good move. Black to play. What should black play here? What should black play here? Abhijit asks, how can I reach 2000 elo quickly? What is your rating currently? How old are you? How much time do you work on chess every day? Do you have a coach? What are you studying? A lot of questions there. Knight fd5, rook c4. Okay, we have, oh, look at this, guys. Chat chess moves, if I may show you. Rook c4, knight d5, knight fd5. So, if I go back, many of you have suggested rook c4. But rook c4, you are giving an exchange right now. Your idea is what? If queen c4, and then there is, even if queen c4, I mean, there's nothing, right? Knight d5, bishop e7. If you play knight e7, then there is queen b4, rook d7. I mean, a lot of options. So, no, that's not the right move. Rook c4 doesn't really help. But knight fd5, yes, by playing this move, you have also attacked the g5 bishop. So if he plays bishop d5, because if he plays bishop e7 here, then you can play queen e7. And now bishop d5, if bishop d5 is played, this is the main reason why knight fd5 was an important move. Now, black to play. Oh, wow, well done. I would rather not take the name yet, so that everybody does not get to know the move, but this is the move because of which knight fd5 was an important. I like that all of you are asking the move rook c2, which attacks the queen. A good question there, but the queen goes to e3, I mean anywhere, but the queen goes to e3. The point is rook c5, and you have attacked this bishop. The bishop moves, you have also attacked the knight. There is a skewer attack, and if you defend it with queen e4, rook d5, rook d5, and again the main idea, look at this nice move, bishop c6, and you are pinning the rook, and this is also pin, so the knight cannot take on c6. It was pure tactics, absolutely pure tactics, otherwise it is not easy to see this idea. And that's the reason, if you would have directly played rook c2, queen e4, and now rook c5, black doesn't have to worry because you don't really have time for all those ideas. So that was the whole point of knight fd5, and it was important that white would have had to take with the bishop on d5, and then black would have taken bishop g5. And if this bishop moves somewhere to attack, let's say, the bishop here, the rook can go to c7, and everything is finally defended. Though it looks loose, you don't have queen d2, which would have been a double attack because there is a bishop here. So that's how he saves. What happened in the game was e takes d5, and white played bishop d5, a good move, a very good move. He did not allow for those tactics, so he maybe calculated it all. And Leon took the bishop. So knight takes d5. Maybe they are going for a lot of exchanges here. Let's just wait here for a few more seconds. By the way, all of you who are joining, are welcome, New Max. Please check it out today. We have a video, Praggnanandhaa versus Nihal, and it's live like right now from Sharjah. Also, a few of you, give me a moment, yeah, if I can make the video slightly big here. No, this is not it. Okay. Anyway, I'll try it again later. But yeah, Leon is thinking, so maybe I'll check out the other games as well. By the way, Murali Karthikeyan is playing with Emre Can and he's white. He's having a good position there. Abhimanyu Puranik is playing against Lucas Van Forest. So Lucas Van Forest is almost having an Indian tournament, we can say so. And yeah, Abhimanyu has a good position. Lovely rook on g4 here. Lovely rook lift we are seeing. And Abhimanyu Mishra with white. Oh wow, it's almost reached endgame, yeah. He has 4 pawns on this side and black has mostly should, don't know, it should end in a draw, but who knows, like if white is able to put pressure. Okay, that was it. Right now, let's go to Praggnanandha's game. If they have played any moves, yeah, they have played. Oh, lot of moves. Rook fd1, c6, and now here Pragg plays e4. He attacks the knight. Absolutely a logical move, keeping the pawn in the center, taking control of center, kicking this knight from this square. Black took the bishop on d2. Rook takes d2, and this knight had a few options whether to jump into b4, whether to go back to f6 or any other place. Nihal decides to keep it on b4 so that he is, but there is no weakness the knight is attacking. Just have a look at this. Absolutely no weakness. It's possible, yeah, that the knight on b4 suddenly becomes useless in comparison to the knight on e5, right? So black has to be careful. Praggnanandhaa plays a move b3. What would his idea be to play b3? Maybe just solidify here, and as we have discussed, this h4 h5 plan could be in the air. For b3, Nihal goes rook e8 and Pragg goes queen c5. Queen c5 is a very interesting move. Any idea why Pragg has gone for this move? Guys, what do you think? Why did Praggnanandhaa play queen c5? Onam, what is your son's rating currently? He is 14 years of age. How many hours does he dedicate to chess every day? Does he have a FIDE rating? Okay, what is your answer, guys? Question is, why did Praggnanandhaa go Queen C5? Saint, Harmony, Rajeshwari, Poonam, Siddharth, FB. Well done, well done, well done, well done. He has vacated the square for his knight. Absolutely. Why? Because he has been alert. When this pawn was pushed, it lost the control of two squares. They have become weakness and they are very easily accessible with this knight. So if this knight was a flight, it's like Mumbai to Chennai, Mumbai to Kolkata, Mumbai to Delhi. Very easy flights, yeah. But if the flight was to go to Katni, where Nikhilesh stays, or maybe to Nasik, it may not have been easy. Okay, no offense, guys. Nikhilesh Jain ko mat batana. But that was the idea, knight c4, and also the queen has scope to shift to king side. Plus, the knight on c4 also attacks a5, and it's an interesting threat because, let me just give you an example. Let's say black makes a move like, what can be the example? Yeah. Okay, no, I don't have the example immediately. But if this knight is on b4, c4, and if this queen is not defending a5, there is another tactic which can be possible, which is knight takes a5, rook takes a5, and you win this knight on b4. So basically you win a pawn. So black is the one who is under pressure. So currently Praggnanandhaa is pressing here. He is pressing. Nihal must play accurately. Nihal must find counterplay. Otherwise, the center, the strong knight, these weaknesses over here are going to be difficult for black. How should black find counterplay? Is an important question. What do you think, guys? How should black find counterplay? सब पता चला, white के पास सब कुछ है, ये भी है, वो भी है, घर है, गाड़ी है, बंगला है, माँ है, फैमिली है, फ्रेंड्स है, सब कुछ है. हाउ शुड ब्लैक फाइंड समथिंग? कुछ भी नहीं है उसके पास. Poonam says his rating is 1639 FIDE. He gives 1.5 hours daily and 4 hours on weekends. Nihal has played knight a6 and he has tried to push her. Poonam, I'll come back to your question. Push the queen away. Push karo, khush karo. Arey, khush raho. Knight bot is super active here. Okay, people had suggested queen c7 and b6 and try to push the queen. Aryan had also suggested. So if b6 like move was played, then the queen is happy to go back to c3 or c4 anywhere because it has provoked b6, which means c6 has become a weakness. So that's a great thing. Also, white has another thing that he could also consider a move like f4. It's not bad at all. The idea can be in mind at the right time. So let's go back. So one problem with b6 is that, which Nihal would not want to weaken. Nihal went knight a6. Other thing is, it was an idea like f6 doing any good to white because you are kicking this knight away. It's irritating. And now if the knight goes back, it is threatening to come. And this looks again a little ugly. Main problem is there is nothing like e5 also with black. That is another main problem. So black's pieces are very passive. So Nihal goes knight a6. Praggnanandhaa goes back to c3. This time he has not gone c4. He has kept the square available for his knight, and Nihal goes knight b4. Actually, Nihal has invited a draw because if Pragg goes queen c5, then they will repeat. Knight a6, queen c3, and it will be a draw. Question is, will Praggnanandhaa repeat right now? Let's look at his video. Let's try to get this video big. Look at Pragg. Will he repeat? It's like a draw offer from Nihal Sarin, who is such a strong player on board 1. Because here practically if you draw, you are also maintaining your lead. What do you think, guys? Arjun Erigaisi is Sagar Shah originally Gujarati. He's originally Gujarati and is duplicate Marathi. What do you think? I'm just trying to see if I can make the board, the video of Pragg versus Nihal as a full screen. That would be amazing to see and just have a look for a while. Yes. Guys, have a look at this. Pragg versus Nihal. Right now, Nihal with his last move, indirectly, has offered a draw. It's like he says, I am ready to repeat. Do you think Pragg will repeat? Yes, Sandeep thinks, yes, Pragg will go for a draw. Tanish also thinks the same. Raymond says no. Oh, Frederick Friedel. Hi, Fred. How are you? Guys, we have Frederick here who has been a good friend, a family, and the CEO of ChessBase Germany. He has been the founder of ChessBase. Sorry, not the CEO, but he has been the founder of ChessBase. So, very good to see you, Fred. Sagar is Gujarati. Vidit isn't. The first time we met Frederick when we had gone to Germany and he had come to pick us up, and he absolutely surprised us by saying a Gujarati poem. Saran says, I do not think Pragg would go for a draw. Oh, Saran, you are right. Saumyadeep as well. Absolutely right. Pragg is not going for a draw. The reason is, look at this position. Maybe the weak computer says it is slight edge for Pragg. How much edge it is giving? It is giving 0.8 plus 0.8. But even to get such a position with an edge above a certain level is not easy against Nihal. So Pragg says, I have nothing to lose if I play. But if I am able to convert this, then this is my opportunity here. I can be a sole leader. Pragg is of course not thinking of the result and all of that thing. As we know, they have reached the top because they have never thought about the outcomes. So this is very important that he assesses his position as better. And now Nihal is going to come under pressure. Yes, back we are. Knight b4, he goes queen f3. Guys, what is white's threat? Very quickly, 10 people in the chat. At least 10 in 10 seconds. Simplicity is writing something in German which I don't understand. But that's to Frederick. Arey, very good. Aditya, Anda Burger, Harmony, Sinan, Ritesh, Siddharth, Rahul. Absolutely well done. Queen f7 is the threat in the air. It's a one move. Like in one move, you're winning this pawn here. Definitely, Nihal is going to defend it. Most probably, Queen e7 he could play. Just looks safer than Queen c7 in the open file. He could also think of f6. That's a possibility. But I think Nihal will go for Queen e7. Okay, shall we now look at Gukesh's game, because he had long castled. Guys, he had done this crazy thing by long castling, and as we already discussed, it requires a lot of courage to long castle in such a position. Knight g5. Finally he thinks for, oh look at his time, 1 hour 10 minutes over here. He thinks for 25 minutes and then makes the move queen c6. Queen c6 has quite hidden ideas there, which white needs to be alert about, because what is the queen eyeing for? Guys, can you in the chat quickly observe what is the queen eyeing for? In the meantime, I am coming in a moment, will bring water quickly. Okay, let me see the chat. Arey, kya baat hai? Awesome, awesome. Well done. So here the queen is eyeing for the g2, which means white will have to be careful for discovered attacks. And there is a checkmate in one move. So queen c6. What should white play? Because it's not easy to make a simple move. He may have to, can he take on f7? If knight f7, it's a super blunder. As we have discussed, this knight can move many places, but can it go to e3? Oops. No, not e3. Oh my god, guys. Find a good move for white. I mean, there are a few, but the best move. Find the best move for white. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. मतलब अगर ढूंढोगे तो खुशी होगी, खुशी दिल से. That's why many people like to solve puzzles, because they get the true joy of solving. The best move here, guys. The best move. All those who have said knight d8 or knight h8, आंखें खोलो. There is a mate here, checkmate in one, so you do not have that time. So all those who have said bishop e4, attacking the queen, you lose your queen, and when you capture this queen, the bishop is captured back. And when you capture any of the rook, the knight is captured back. So eventually 2 pieces for rook black will have and black will be happy. So absolutely few people, many people have suggested bishop e4, which is a blunder. Yeah, by the way, sorry. But the people who have suggested Harsh, what, only Harsh? Harsh, Sai Staff, and Karthik. Yes, absolutely well done. Queen c5. What a move. There is no mate because it's a pin, so you cannot take there. And if you take queen takes c5, bishop captures this knight to e3. Queen is attacked. Until now you've got 2 pieces for a queen, but the threat is rook c1. This is also pinning here, and if the queen goes back, then this knight captures the rook again. Rook captures, and if you first check the material, rook and bishop for rook and bishop, and white has rook and bishop for the queen and one pawn, rook bishop and a pawn for the queen, which is in points, if you want to count, 5 plus 3 plus 1, 9 is equal to 9. So materially still white is equal, but this king is exposed, and this is definitely worth playing for white with a lot of threats happening. So that could have been very cool for white's calculation. What he played after queen c6 was queen g4. He went queen g4. For white, another idea was to go knight e4 and stop these ideas. At the same time, you are attacking the c5 bishop, so a queen exchange was in the air because Gukesh would have had to go back and the queens would have exchanged. But queen g4 has been played because Mustafa wants these queens on the board. Why? Because Mustafa believes that my king is safer than your king. वो आता है ना, it's like नहीं यार, this exchange cannot be good, I want to checkmate you. So he has retained the queens, and actually by doing so, now you have no idea whose king could get weaker, because there is h5 coming with a tempo, h4, h3, and this bishop. Oh my god, it's going to be a bloodbath finally there. Here Gukesh can make a simple move rook d7, or he could also first insert and play a5, h5. We will see. I think amazing games. E3 says Mustafa believes in not worrying. Yeah, for all those who don't know the song, there is a very famous Hindi song. It used to be when I was very young. Mustafa, Mustafa, don't worry, Mustafa. So that's why he's not worrying. Okay, can we go to any more moves in Praggnanandhaa versus Nihal after Queen F3? No, Nihal has come down to 25 minutes. Let's go to other games. Arvind's game is equalized here with Yu Yangi. So as we discussed, Yu Yangi is going to defend well. Arjun Erigaisi versus Aryan Chopra right now after F6. The last we left at Rook A3. And Arjun went for a5 move, a very nice strategic move there he has played, and I think he's going to be later also. What is his idea actually? Is his idea in the future b4? Let's check that out. Knight goes to g3. The bar says he doesn't like that very much. Why so? E takes f5, sorry, f takes e5. Good timing by Arjun. He's very alert ki this is the time to take the pawn. But again the question remains, why is this good move right now? Knight takes e5, and Arjun over here went knight f4. But he had a stronger move. And again, I don't know how many of you will be able to guess this and assess it as a strong move. So black to play. What was a better move for Arjun to play here? Black to play. Arjun had a good move. Not easy at all. Saran says that's actually Tamil song. Saran, no, it was also in Hindi later. Ha, exactly. Anyway, what we are right now doing is discussing a song. No, not finding yet. Bishop d6 is being suggested there, but white has queen d3, attacks the h7 pawn, and if you play g6, then you are just gone. Knight g6, and then you will get mated, crushing if you try to defend there. Knight goes to f3, attacks the queen for a while. For queen h6, this knight jumps in. Just look at how white's pieces are flowing like a river. So we go back over here, and not bishop d6, but the good move was queen g5, challenging the queen exchange there. And if queen g5, knight g5, the main idea of exchanging the queens was a good option. What Arjun played, knight f4, is of course also a good idea because he wants to keep the queens. It seems like